Welcome to Kranky Live Sports Talk, where passion meets action.
Hey sports fans, I am Kranky, and this is the Kranky Live Sports Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the hottest topics, the biggest games, and the most controversial moments in sports.
Whether it's football, basketball, track and field, cricket, or soccer, we've got you covered with expert analysis, insider interviews, and unfiltered opinions.
Join me as I chat with the biggest names in sports, get exclusive insights and stories you won't hear anywhere else.
Kranky Live Sports Talk is where you can hear the real talk, the hard-hitting questions, and the hottest takes.
So, if you're a true sports fanatic, you don't want to miss out? Subscribe now to the Kranky Live Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that bell icon to never miss an episode.
Kranky Live Sports Talk, where sports come alive. Subscribe today.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me know if you can hear me. Fresh cut as usual. Much appreciated. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me know if you can hear me. I get my own echo here from my iPad. Langsley, thanks for joining. Ernest. And as you come in, just hit the like button. I see my likes are much more than my those who are in the chat, so that's good. I like to keep the trend that way. Secondly, I need to increase my subscribers numbers. I'm at 830 something. I think Fresh God mentioned it. I want to get 1,000 before the end of the weekend. I was hoping to get 1,000 before Jamaica's game tomorrow, but that's not going to happen. And where I am is I changed location, and I can't turn on my AC because the noise is loud. So I'm not sure I'm going to manage that today. So I put in some work. I feel the pain. So at least we can subscribe. Bless up Shushan, bless up Mindset, who like to give me a hard time. We have a lot to talk about today. It's mainly a Reggae Boyz show, but I would be doing disservice if I didn't mention a few things that are happening in the news, which I think are important, but I won't spend a long time on them. Today's discussion is going to be focused on a couple of things, key things. One is the Reggae Boyz upcoming game against Mexico tomorrow, and then I have a pre-game, a watch-along, and a post-game. And I also do a post-game on Sunday. I expect to have a special guest on Sunday about 3 p.m. Let's hope that materializes and work out, and the person is available. We can have that. I'm not sure what my video is showing, so fuzzy here. So let's hope that happens tomorrow. That tomorrow works out. We have those 3 segments, and then Sunday I want to have someone who's integrally involved with the team come and talk if they're available. Sort of tentative for the time being. But today we'll spend a lot of time talking about the team, the squad, the team. But let me jump into other subjects. And also the phone line is open. The phone line is working. I want to have that dialogue. And just in terms of some things I'm trying to do, as I mentioned before, I'm hoping to start next week a coach's corner where we have a few coaches come by and talk football and football strategy. Big up Carlington, big up Triple E. And it should be a learnings not only for myself, but for yourselves. And also they can be interaction and engagement with the coaches to ask questions, provide perspective, and have a good dialogue. And then I also have some other things that I'm thinking about doing, which will need your participation. Because people, we're one big family here, We need to engage, because sometimes I said the phone line is open and people really call. And I actually do want you to call in, and we want to hear your views. We have WhatsApp, so you can't complain, say you can't afford it, right? Because it's free. And as I said yesterday, even though media disagree with me, we like freeness at Jamaica. I don't care what media want to tell me. So I would love for you to be part of that process, part of that way in terms of we interact. People may have to turn on this AC because it's hot inside, but we'll see how long I can last. Actually, in fact, I'm gonna take my hat off because it's burning up. And I apologize for this, but I thought my military training would allow me to. I forgot how long I left the military, will allow me to manage this better. But it's not. You can see my head is sweating actually. because I was in a location where the AC run a distance away, and I moved to be in a more secure location. That's not working as well as I thought it would, but we'll see as we go along. I'll manage through the 2 hours. So the first thing I want to touch upon is and by the way, I need you to also help me think about things that you want to talk about, things that are in the news, sports related, because sometimes we venture out. I want you to be part of that conversation, that dialogue. So in terms of cricket, because this is a sports channel, it's not a Jamaica channel, it's not a football channel, it's a sports channel where football actually does dominate, because that's what we all spend a lot of time on. So in cricket, as you know, West Indies lost to England, and they're in the same zone with the US and South Africa. Today, South Africa beat England by 7 runs. So South Africa now sort of leads the zone because they beat the USA and they beat England, and West Indies lost to England. So West Indies need to win their remaining games, including beating South Africa, and hope their run rate is good enough to get through to the semis. Bless up Nitro and Sports City. West Indies play. Yeah, Sports City is 7:30. It's 7:30 Jamaica time. It's 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and if you're in the UK, it's about 1:30 there actually. Bless up, Chris, and thanks for joining. So hopefully West Indies will bounce back and beat the US, and then the showdown between them and South Africa. South Africa has a good team, but I haven't been overly impressed with them, but they've been winning, which is interesting, which I hear from some people is the most important thing, right? You just got to win regardless. So it's interesting. Thanks, Miguel. Yes, I'm trying to do this, Miguel, but people are not cooperating. I'm not getting the amount of subscribers I would hope to get. And we have 40-something people in the chat. People, 28 likes. When I started this a few minutes ago, we had like 4 people in the chat and 11 likes. That means people come in and go out. I know it's 28 versus 50. And if people hear me talking about this all the time, like it's ad nauseum, and it gets irritating to hear the host always talking about likes and subscribe, because it's an imperative. It's important. We need to do it so this can spread. I can get my 1,000, and I'll slow down on the always asking to subscribe. Maybe I'll ask you for the likes and the share. So anyway, bless up. So that's for cricket. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these things. On the Euros, it's been an interesting tournament so far, actually. If you read the English press this morning, they slaughtered England because they drew yesterday, and they probably should have lost to Denmark, actually. But if you look at the zones, it's interesting how things are going. Today, we had Ukraine winning. We had France just drawing their game, which is interesting, actually, because I'm not sure people realize this. France has not scored a goal in the tournament. The first goal they had was an own goal, so they haven't scored a goal. So maybe I'll at some point I'll put up the standings. It's been an interesting tournament. The last round's a game. They have 2 more sets to go, and then we go to the last round. It's going to be interesting how that works out. But France haven't scored a goal. No, Mbappe didn't play today, but you can't be a one-man team, right? Your team has to be in a way in which it's a versatile team. It's a team that has a lot of quality, and they shouldn't just have to depend on Mbappe 24/7, which seems to be part of the problem for them, actually. So, but they had chances today, and Griezmann chances were, I'm telling you, people, you and I could score some of those Griezmann goals that they missed. So here's some of the standings. Let me see if you can see the standings. I'm trying to widen this thing here, and it's not behaving. Not sure why this is not behaving. So trying to pull up these standings here, and this is now too wide. So this is the standings, Group A. Germany is obviously won their first 2 games. They've looked impressive, right? I thought Switzerland was very good against Hungary, not that good against Scotland. So I think the top 2 teams will go through. The top 2, Hungary cannot go through anymore, and Scotland goal difference is such a way I'm not sure they're going to go through, because as you know, it's 6 zones. The top 2 teams from each zone goes through, and also the next 4 best third place teams. So I think I'm not sure any third place team from this zone will go through. If you go to the next zone, you see Spain, who have also looked impressive. I don't think they have any great goal scorers on their team, but they have looked impressive. They'll probably go through. It'll be interesting to see if Albania or Croatia also goes through. As you can see, Croatia's goal difference is not great. Then you have in England's zone. I think England will go through. If they don't go through, if they lose in their game to Slovenia, I think they'll still go through with 4 points, and they'll have a good goal difference. Maybe it probably won't be negative, probably 0 if they lose. So I would expect them and Denmark to go through, and Slovenia may also go through. It depends on how they do against England. If they lose, it's going to be tough to do so. In the next zone, you see Netherlands and France are tied. They say Netherlands stop, but I think they're basically tied in terms of, Netherlands have a goal against. It's 1 goal difference. Goal difference is probably the primary criteria. I'm sure there's some other criteria if you tied up with goal difference, but they're basically tied. And France has, as I said, France hasn't scored a goal of their own volition in the tournament. It's interesting that Griezmann missed 2 chances today, which are criminal, frankly, like really criminal. People, please hit the like button as you come in. Please hit the like button. 70 people, 38 likes. And people, I am doing today's show because, as you know, this program is Monday through Thursday, and I say sometimes on Sundays. That's in part when I have my intro. And I figure it was good to talk to you since you've been very good to me, and we have a conversation today. But I need your help. I need those likes to go up, and I need the subscribers too. Subscribers are not growing. Subscribers started out real fast, and my viewing hours was low. My viewing hours have gone off the roof, and my subscribers numbers are petering out. So people, tell your friends and family and those who love sports so they can subscribe. In Group E, Romania obviously won their first game really comfortable against Ukraine. Ukraine won. Good game today. They won their game. Obviously, Belgium. I think Belgium will go through, even though they lost their first game. I think they'll go through. They lost to a Slovakia team, but I think they'll go through. That's just my view anyway. I think they'll beat Ukraine. I think they may draw with Romania, but we'll see what happens. But if they don't, it'll be a shock because they have one of the easiest zones, frankly. And in the next zone, it's going to be interesting. I think the Czechs have a decent team, but it looks like Portugal and Turkey for now. But we'll see what happens there. So that's basically the Euros and it's going well. Actually, I love the enthusiasm of the Euros. I must tell you, like I see the crowds and the vibes and the energy, and I think that's awesome. And I think hopefully the Copa America becomes the same. I know based on discussion I've had with people that the game yesterday was well attended in Atlanta, probably was sold out. There were a lot of complaints about the field. The view is that the problem you have in the US is that optically, people want these things to be pleasing, right? They want them to be pleasing. So they make the fields a certain way to make them look really, really good. The problem you have is that it's artificial surface, and they try to do some, I'm gonna use my own term, some fake grass over it, and that hasn't worked out well. So Argentina complained bitterly about the field and that it wasn't a good surface to play on, and also was one of the players from Canada, one of the defenders, also complained about the field. So I don't know. It's unfortunate that the field is in playing on we call multi-surfaces. So MLS will play on artificial surface, not fit for football, frankly. Easier to maintain, but not really fit. And as one can see, there's a lot of concern about the field. But let's hope it doesn't derail the competition. Bless up John Powell, bless up Lyde Crawford, Miguel, S. Technic, Bessa Document, Black River. Wow, these names are interesting. And thanks for joining. I appreciate you guys being here. And as I said, a lot of today's program will be about taking calls, but just as important is talking about the Jamaica squad, which I had up here and just disappeared. And not only the Jamaica squad, but also walking through your view on, you love this squad, you love the, well, I wouldn't say love, the coach's strategy, what is the strategy coach is employing. I get grief for this, I call it KNH, which is another word for kick and hope. Because you know what we do, right? We play the ball long a lot, actually, which to me is a problem. We play the ball long a lot. And I know, some members of the Jamaican football community believe that we have certain attributes and we have to exercise those attributes and leverage those attributes because they're a strength, which is we're physical, we're quick, we're fast, and so therefore we get the ball up the field as quick as possible. We can punish the opposition. The problem is we getting the ball up field to the opposition. So there's a difference between getting the ball upfield and punish the opposition. But what you're doing is getting the ball upfield, but it comes back fast and you got it upfield, which is not a good thing actually. So we need to figure out a way to play football. Like Crawford. So Crawford, here's a question for you on that. Is that good or bad? Because I've never heard that before. That I sound like the Jamaica Prime Minister. First of all, he's not as handsome as I am. And frankly, he's probably much more eloquent. I'm just kidding, people. Don't take because I know how to jump on things, Joke me, I make. Nah, talk what the man looks. He's probably much smarter than I am. He's much more accomplished than I am. I don't think we have anything in common, right? He's done a lot in his career, given his background and given where he's come from. And his wife is also in Parliament. So they're a power couple. But so I don't know if I don't think I sound like him actually. He's much more eloquent than I am. Bless up, Milshire, Ika Reeks, Nitro. All thanks for joining. People, please hit the like button as they come in. Nitro said Grimmer did not learn how to use a midfield at coaching school. Yeah, look, Grimmer comes from an era and from a system which they didn't keep the football. And you hear people in the Euro talking about this actually, which is every team is trying to keep the football. I was listening to a program today talking about Poland. They were just talking about that, which is they're changing how they play football, right? They've decided to go through the sacrifice of saying, you know what? Maybe going long ball would be more effective for us in the short term, but in long term, we have to play football. So they're changing their whole football ecosystem and how they operate to keep the ball, which is something that we have to do. And I know, look, and I guess that's a question now for Rudolph, and if we get a chance to communicate going forward about this, which is when you go to coaching school, is that part of the problem? I know we have different phases of the game and different strategies you employ, different systems you employ, but what is Jamaican football philosophy and how do we want to exercise that philosophy? Because I really don't know. Right now I see kick and hope football. I don't really know what our philosophy is across the board. And I've always said this, that we should go get some of the La Liga coaches, build a relationship with Spain and some of the football clubs so we can adopt that system. Because I think it would be such a great thing to do two things. If you have the physical attributes that we do and you can keep the ball, I wouldn't say we're unbeatable, but we're a difficult team to beat. If I'm stronger than you, faster than you, as technical as you are, how are you going to beat me? And you're much smaller. Because look how diminutive the Spanish team in a lot of areas. I mean, there are a few people like Rodri who are big, but look at their team. Look at their two left and right backs and some of their players. They're small, diminutive players, but they learn how to keep the football. And as I said last night on the program, in Spain, last 138 games, they've outpossessed their opposition. Now, I'm going to get some pushback saying, well, do they win all their games? No, but at least you get a chance to win if you have more of the ball. The problem with some teams is that they can possess the ball, but when they get to the final third, they run out of ideas. All right? Nigel said, maybe you should add Lenny I to the holding staff to help with the attacking phase. Yeah, I don't know Lenny. No, look, Lenny's been very successful in high school football. Obviously, when you step up a level, it becomes interesting. Breast up Jason Gooner, it becomes a little more interesting, a little more challenging. So yeah, mine says, as soon as they say possession on YouTube, the Jamaican YouTubers attack you. Well, I think possession football is the future of football, and we need to do so. Somebody called in early. We'll see what it is. We're going to take calls. Good afternoon. I should say good evening. Who am I speaking to? Who's this?
Miguel.
How are you doing, Miguel? Guys, can you hear Miguel? Because I did set this up enough, so it should work. I can turn this up. Let me know if you guys can hear Miguel clearly. Can you guys hear Miguel? And by the way, people, I have some audios to play of some of the interviews with the Reggae Boy and also the coach pre-game, pre-Mexico game press conference. So, yeah, Miguel, what do you want to say?
Yeah, in terms of that long ball situation, though, Kranky, isn't it a bit, what should I say now? idealistic, for want of a better word, to be expecting us to be holding the ball when we don't have that ball handler. So don't we use what we have? As first time your grandma said, take where you get till you get where you want, and try to scrape some result from what you have. I mean, how do you look at it? Because we say we already admit we don't have a proper midfield. So why would we try to endanger ourselves by when we don't really have those type of players? Why not use what we have for now and get the best of the situation?
Right. So look, the point you're raising is saying, okay, Cranky, it's all great. You guys talk about ball possession, keep the ball, but we can't keep the ball because we don't have the place to keep the ball. But here's my question on that:
Precise.
is that really the truth holistically? What do I mean? So yes, we may have a few players in midfield who don't have that capability, but a lot of our players play at a decent enough level where they can keep the ball, right? So let's work through the team. You tell me none of our forwards can keep the ball really well. I know people can focus on the midfield. We'll get there. So whether it's Gray, whether it's Antonio, whether it's Boza, whether it's Bobby Reed, whether it's the person who's no longer with the team and is taking time off. And you notice I don't talk about people's name. I try not to call too much names sometimes. So forgive me for that. That's 5 players I just mentioned playing at a very high level. You think they can keep the ball, right? We're going to work through the team. You think they can keep the ball, correct?
Yeah, but Kanke,
No, work with me. Work with me, Miguel. Work with me. I mentioned 5 players. You think those 5 players can keep the ball? Work with me here.
if I think they can keep the ball,
Yeah.
the best, I think to the best they can.
But no, do you think they're good enough to try to possess the? They play in teams that possess ball, right? Aston Villa possess ball, Fulham possess ball, West Ham possess ball. Gray played at Everton, a little bit different. They play kickball, long ball, but Gray's a good. He can play the ball on the ground. So would you say my forward line can keep the ball? Boza plays in France. I think he got relegated, but you think they can keep the ball? Correct? Those 5 players.
Yeah.
So we're working around the midfield to get to some place. So in the defense, we have Lati, we have Pinnock, we have Hector, by the way, who can play midfield, who has played midfield and can keep the ball. We have Bernard. So and we have Greg Lee, we have Marbell, play for ball possession team. So those 5 defenders can keep the ball, correct? So I'll just name 10 players, right, who can keep the ball. So let's go in the midfield now. So in the midfield, we may have Anderson. It may be Palmer. It could be Lati. A bunch of different people playing the midfield, right? Now, if you say of those players, can you think any of them can keep the ball? Palmer can keep the ball. Anderson can keep the ball, or try to keep it. Can they even attempt to keep it?
With what degree of efficiency, bro?
Well, you've seen them play. You tell me. You've seen them play. You've seen Palmer play for Coventry.
I wouldn't trust them to be holding up the ball too much. I don't see them. They have not demonstrated that practice. So I think you're going with a little bit in the hypothetical direction right now.
But Miguel, you can't say they haven't when we kick the ball over their head all the time. If it was tried and it failed continuously, they say, you know what? I agree with you, Miguel. We give up. We don't do this at all. If you look, we've all said the midfield needs to improve.
We are hoping that they can then, because we haven't seen them do it.
But we haven't seen them being given a chance to do it either.
You don't know what them do in training.
Oh, no, I've watched them in training. They play a lot of short pass in training, by the way. They work on set pieces mostly in training. At least what I saw. I don't see all the training because when you go to training, they kick you out after a while. And I went to a couple of trainings. But they played like the man in the middle type training. You put 3 people in the middle and try to pass the ball around them. They work quite a bit religiously and judiciously on set pieces. That's why the goal against the US was one of those things I saw them work on in training. When you throw the ball to the touch line, wait on the line and try to head over to the far post, and that's why Greg Lee scored. So that we can see. So if you do that in training, why can't you work on keeping the ball in training?
Well, all right, to be honest, Kranky, I think our issue right now is execution. Putting the ball in the back of the net. It's not a lack of chances. We have seen that. And that has been proven. That if we execute those chances at least a higher percentage, we would win more matches. Not just win matches, but at bigger margins also. So I think that's one of the things that we need to the main one of the main things that we need to focus on execution, being more lethal in front of the goal. I think people get a little bit cold feet, or I don't know, they run out of ideas whenever they reach the goal. Then so I think that's the main thing that the team is lacking right now. And if they do that, we can go and kick the ball them over them kicking it right for now until we can get them settled as how you'd want them to from
Miguel,
a ball possession point of view.
here's why ball possession is important in football today, people. A couple of things. One is football today take more energy than it did in the past because people are pressing. People didn't really press in football historically, press at the vigor they do today, sometimes throughout the whole game, right? So you can rest on offense and you work really hard on defense to win the ball back. That's how the ball is being played. Secondly, when you have the ball, the other team don't have the ball, so they can't score when you have the ball, right? So you can better control the game. Third, missing chances is innate to football. Now, if you're watching the Euro, and we're saying,
But we're talking about percentage.
wait. Let me finish, Miguel. Let me explain something to you, Miguel. Look at France today and the two chances that Griezmann missed. They're worse than the Dixon chances. Much worse than Dixon. In fact, you and I, Miguel, at this point in our lives, and I can't even run anymore, could score those goals. They're so bad missed, right? Look at Messi's chances he missed yesterday. We're talking about Messi, supposedly the best footballer who ever played the game. He missed 2 sitters yesterday. So, point I'm trying to make is I'm not disagreeing with you that we should put away our chances, but everybody missed goals. Even the best miss goals and miss easy goals. Yes.
You are one of the main person who said that when you're using example, you don't use anomalies.
But this is not an anomaly. These are not anomalies. This is norm.
Yeah, but Messi put more chances away than I think Messi, under normal circumstance, Messi would have put away those chances.
I just gave you Griezmann example and I gave you Messi example. What I'm trying to make is that
using it. I find I can choose to respond with anyone that you select.
No, I'm telling you 2 games I just played in the last 2 days. I'm not going way out. I'm saying yesterday and today, the 2 games I watched, because I didn't really watch the Austria game, and I didn't really watch I was on the road for the Ukraine game. The 2 games I watched last night and today, 2 of the better players in world football miss sitters, not just chances, sitters. Right?
All right. So make we contextualize the conversation.
Okay.
Kranky. So we don't really want to go all over the place. So so do you agree that in terms of average score, we're not talking about no exceptional like team 11, 12, 30, whatever. On average, Jamaica is below average when it comes to being lethal in front of the goal versus their higher ranked opponents at Mexico, Canada, and the US.
I can't say that.
And this is one of the areas where that if we, you wouldn't say that?
I haven't done this. We got to be very careful with that statement, Jamaica. And here's why. You have to do the analysis to then make that definitive statement. I've watched Mexico play. I don't think nobody in the Concacaf miss goals on Mexico. When Mexico play us, they always miss some 4 or 5 easy chances. So if I'm going to make that statement definitively and saying it's fact, I have to do the analysis and say, you know what? When Mexico play, and the question, who are we talking about? When they play in Concacaf?
We have to use, we can't use number of goals. We have to use number. We can't use number of shots versus goals. We have to use percentage. So to get a more accurate explanation, right?
Yeah, you can talk about whether you want to talk about big chances or just chances in general, because the stat man sometimes doesn't. I don't think they know what they're doing. Sometimes they have some stats. Sometimes you just shake your head like, "I watched the game. You're making no sense. That wasn't a chance." So we can differ on what a chance is.
Direct shot at goal.
Right. So big chances. So I said you what they call big chances. You know what? I send you through on goal. You miss 1-on-1 with the keeper. You miss. Goal was open. Those big chances where you say, you know what? On a normal basis, more likely than not, you should score those goals.
Percentage basis, we have a lesser percentage in terms of putting away or higher in terms of missing.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And look, I don't think Jamaica creates a ton of chance against the bigger teams to even do that. You think about it. When we play the US, when we play Panama,
percentage, Kranky. So we don't look at the numbers. We look at whatever you get versus whatever you even though it increases the probability of you scoring if you do more. So you can't get really technical. But let us keep it basic.
Yeah. No, look, I understand the view. People are going to say, look, hey, Kranky, you and others want us to possess the ball, but then you also say, which is contradictory, that we need to improve the midfield because the midfield is not good enough, or is not. You
And
know, use the word good
also,
enough.
and
Yeah.
also, you said, sorry to cut you, Cranky, but also I've heard the same set of people says that possession doesn't necessarily dictate you who wins the game, because a team could have an 80% possession, and the team with the 20%, they are the ones who got the chance and put it away. So possession doesn't necessarily dictate that you win. It may increase your probability and of you hitting the goal, but at the same time, it's not necessarily guaranteed. So I've heard you said that also.
Yeah, so that's true. But here's the point I make, and this is not disputable. The team most times it's the better teams that have more possession in football. Most times it's the better teams that dominate possession. That's not disputable, right? Unless you're Spain, for example, which always dominate possession for some reason. But most time the better team dominate possession. We want our team to be dominant, right? We want. First of all, here's a question for you, Miguel, and give people in the chat and people. 84 on the chat or whatever the number is. I want to 60 something likes.
Define better team, though, Cranky. What's the definition of better team?
So the team that has the more likelihood of winning, the team that demonstrate based on the person they have on the field that they're better in most phases of the game, right? So, for example, US is better than Jamaica. Yeah. So, for example, US is better than Jamaica overall. In general, if you were to compare player for player, systems, how they play, their records, their ranking, they're a better team. I'm not going to use FIFA ranking as the sole criteria for better team, but it's one of the inputs into it. But a lot of times you can see that whether it's the Premier League, whether it's JPL, whether it's whatever the league is, the team that normally possess, the teams that are dominant in possessions are normally the better team. In a lot of instances.
Resources and population and all those things.
No, it's less about resource and population and a lot of times about the quality of the players you have in the field. You know, Uruguay population is small.
If you have 150 million males to choose from versus 3 million, you don't think you have a chance to form a better team?
No, it depends. That's a very so with your argument. So India and China should be the best teams in the world.
No, not necessarily. Fine, but
they have about 40% or 40% of the world population. They should be the best teams in the world, without a doubt.
Well, maybe they don't put that much effort in.
No, they put a lot of effort. Trust me. India may not put a lot of effort in football. China put a lot of effort in football. Maybe they need to get better coaches, and that's where the coaching come in. Maybe they have too much of their own coaches, and they need to get better coaches. But they put a lot of effort in football.
We don't know what is stopping them then. Until we do that research, fine. Let's throw that.
Yeah, but so the population criteria to determine that, then you would knock out Denmark and all those countries, smaller countries in Iceland and Europe. They shouldn't be competing at all, right?
No, but I'm not saying it's an absolute.
Right. No, I agree. Okay. Fair point. Focus on the game, the infrastructure you have, the support system you have, the resources you have, all informs your ability to improve in any given discipline, right? No matter what that discipline is. And football is just one of those disciplines. And I think in football, for us as a people, when we have people playing at the highest level, the coaches spend some time. I'm not sure if he does or not, but I don't see it because when the people talk to him, I get the sense it's played high. We have two giants up there that head the ball onto each other and try to score. And my view is, what happens if the ball don't reach its destination? Because the longer you kick the ball, the less likelihood it's going to get to its destination. So
maybe that's why we focus on a lot on defense, so that some of a solid ball around there, just in case that happens.
Okay. Now, someone said in the chat that Canada had 35% against Argentina. Or can I look comfortable? Yeah, here's the thing about that game. Think about that game. It's not Miguel. Canada didn't look out of place against Argentina. Right? Now, someone would say, well, Kranky, we beat Canada. Yeah, and to me, Canada was a better team when we beat them that day. I keep saying that. But at the same time, we should have scored more against them in Jamaica. And it's a point that we have competent enough players to compete with the Canadas of the world. But when we played Argentina, I think it was just it was a friendly, it was an easier game for Argentina and Canada gave them. if Canada takes its chances, and you go back to chances, Miguel, which say everybody missed chances. Canada had 2 or 3 very good chances in the first half, right? We saw the chance that was missed by Argentina early by what's his name, who's his last tournament, has come to me. The left footer who plays on the right wing, he missed his chance. Demarai, he missed an early chance. Canada then had a couple of really good chances, especially the header. They should have scored. It may have been a different game. Now, I think they tired second half and Argentina came into their own and Argentina complained about the field. But I do think if one was to think about that game, even though Canada had, 35% possession, I haven't looked at the possession stats, just reading what was provided here, I would think one would say Canada they belong on the field with Argentina.
Okay. I'm going to run, but in conclusion, I think that we're not playing too badly, not necessarily the prettiest of football. And I think that if we start being a little more lethal, a little more clinical, that's the right word,
right,
in front of the goal, I think we will have better results until we get like a ball handler, and that will give the team a lot more confidence in terms of, I think that's another thing too. If you have somebody to build the confidence for the team, a ball handler, so listen them hold it, when the other person gets it, when they see everybody passing the ball quick, then, I mean, everybody's just going to let it go. They don't want to be that guy. You understand me?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Miguel.
Tomorrow,
yeah, nobody want to lose the ball in a dangerous position. I agree.
Right. They don't want to be that guy to say, oh, if she'll look at the ball. So if we have somebody who can direct the traffic and hold it properly, so it builds the morale, builds the confidence of the other players in the same sense or in the same breath, then I think that we'll see better football. But until that day, I just wanted to do what they can, the best that they can, and be a little more clinical in front of the goal. Well, my 2 cents, my brother. So good show.
And Miguel, I do enjoy the call and I appreciate the call. And look, we have divergent views, right? And we should appreciate divergent views because you make some good point about, against Dominica, it was very obvious. We should have won the game from the first half. And we got it and teams get confident when you don't score, put away your chance against them. But the point I'm trying to make is that we also see at the highest level, people miss chances. Also, what we want to do is this, and people don't focus on this. We want to enjoy watching our team play football. You don't want to sit there crossing our fingers and say, boy, I hope the game, we score 1, I hope the game done. When I went to the US game, you know what I was doing? In the US game, I'm like, ref, blow it off.
We'll get there.
Wait, Miguel. 75th minute, I say, ref, blow it off, ref, blow it off, blow it off. So the whole somebody's calling, just give me 1 second to finish this conversation, Miguel. I'm hoping the game get blown up. I don't like to watch the game that way, Miguel. More enjoy the ball, more see the 1-2, the triangles, Mr. Denmark player. I don't want to sit on the I say, you know what? Blow up the game, ref. Blow it up, ref. Blow it off, ref. That's all I say. You don't want to do that, Miguel. We enjoy the football.
Yeah, man, that's true.
Yeah, man.
I respect the right.
Yeah, man, Miguel. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, respect. Cool.
And that was Miguel with some good points, actually. And we shouldn't dismiss anyone's views when they say, look, Kranky and others who are talking about position football, which is, do we have the people to possess the ball? And I was trying to walk through the players and say, can they do so? And second, they're saying, look, even if we're not possessing the ball, we're getting chances that we're not putting them away. And I think Dominica game was a clear example. And this is not about beating Dixon people about Dominica, but we did miss a lot of chances in that game. And he was the main person. I want to use the word culprit. Seems a little bit damning saying that, but he was the main person who missed the chances. Even though you hear me say numerous times, I like his game. I like his game quite a bit. Whoever was calling a while ago, please call back. I just wanted to finish the conversation, Miguel, so we'll transition at some point to listen to some of these interviews. So if you're going to call back now, do it right now. Otherwise, for the next 10 to 20 minutes, we're going to be playing some interviews for the audience. All right. You know what maybe I'll do is I'll call back the number. Instead of me saying the person should call back, I'll call back the number. I'm going to tell the people it's hot inside there, but I have to figure this air conditioning thing out. I was trying to call my contractor to run another line, but I must be busy.
Yes, thank you.
Who is this?
Thank you.
Call my huh?
Hello. Wagwan.
You just called me a while ago, right? Am I mistaken?
Yes, man.
Okay.
You know that number, Gary from Chicago, man.
Yeah. You called yesterday, Gary. Sorry.
You must know something.
All right, Gary. Gary, I apologize. Gary, I apologize. Go on, Gary.
Yeah. Me hear you talk about the long football, but you know what I say, I kill them, those players. I just true, you know, the Jamaican fans and everybody are feeling that they lose the ball, and a lot of people don't really educate to the football. That when you hold a ball and you lose it, you don't hold it to lose it. You hold it to make movements. And some of the guys them were on the field, we have played too much defense with the midfielder. So when you get the ball shot, he don't come for the ball. He never put it long. Because I hear you talk about Nandi Lowe. And 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 he is a good tackler.
You mean Damien? And Andy's his father, I think. You mean Damien?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, any nigga. So if Farmer get the ball, you know. If Farmer not give me, you know. I'm moving, so now I'm going to knock him up to pass the ball over there. So it's like they don't feel that confident. You understand?
Right.
But to me, you know how the coach start today, tomorrow, start Palmer and Anderson. We'll get a great midfield play. Yes. But I don't think coach are going to really. Coach will solidify the defense first. It's like them coward in Mexico. I think that. But if we just play our natural football game, as all them players, as we just say, we have a lot of players in the big league. We play it and hold it. But that is the problem. We need the next ball handler with the next two in there. When they get the ball and move, you know, a single man to Ravel, we don't care where nobody want to cuss or nothing. That we need a next man like that. You understand? Ravel out no, you know, we're not busy with him, but we need a next man like that. We don't care. Hold the ball, I'm not busy if a man want and beat a one man and pass and take it back. I don't care if he loses or not. We need a man like that in the middle. If we don't have a next man like that in the middle, we're not going to do football. And again, I hear you talk about keeping the ball. You listen to the commentator with Spain and hear what they say about Spain. They said them at Spain had changed them ball game from the whole position of football because the last 2 years, they don't reach nowhere. Both side and back to back and they got 90% and they don't win no game. See? That is type of football they cut out. They play position, but they play more less position football and make more passes towards going. I got me hear them saying, I don't mean I make up that, you know, as that I hear them say that's why the court they have now, if you notice Spain, they move they do less position now, you know, and I move the balls longer, straight, direct.
Let me just say, let me respond to that, which is this.
Yes.
Spain's problem was they keep the ball, but they're playing what they call tiki-taka. It's very, very short passes. It takes a long time to go up the field. It doesn't mean France plays a little bit longer, right? France will play position football. I hear people saying, oh, France play a long ball. No, France plays to its strength, but France also keeps the ball. But you have more distance between the passes, and therefore you get your destination quicker than if I make 20 short passes versus 5 passes of longer distances, I get there quicker, right? Still playing position football. I think, and Spain problem also is they don't have any lethal forwards. Who's their forward? They have Morata playing forward for the longest. They don't have any forwards. They have Torres and Morata who are not the best goal scorers.
Yes, and Morata a goal, but he still scored, you know. He always find himself in the position. That's what you want in one team to pressure our next team, you know.
Right.
Find yourself in the position, you know. It just come like a whole Boza will get 50 chance and he score on go 3. Right? And and you know why you get those chances? Because the team when I play against, they don't recognize him as nobody great to score. Mikel Anthony would never get him the chance, you know. Never, no history. He would never get it.
But Carla, but here's a question though, because I hear a lot. Here's what I find interesting. I want to understand these people. You know, if Boza didn't score, like Mikel not scoring, Boza I get beaten. You guys tell me if I'm off on this. If Boza played the last 6 games and don't score 1 goal, would you guys still want Boza in the team, even in the squad? Or are we giving Mikel allowance because Mikel has more pedigree than Boza?
No, look at something. If you now look on it, I used to coach. But I'll show you something. It's 2 different things between Boza and Mikel. Boza is on the field just for a goal scorer. Look into that, right? It's a Mikel. If Boza on the field of play, no other team never look at it. When you see Mikel attitude, with him, he will take the ball, take it to you, do a lot of different things. They can't give that man no chance. That's why we don't worry about Mikel because he's Mikel. No, Mikel look come in the field, when you have a man like a Mikel on the field, where you now look, Kranky, a 3 man like a whole one Mikel, you know, so and a man always free. So that's why the coach cannot be without Mikel on the field because Mikel draw away 2-3 man at all time. No one man can step on Mikel. One man can step on Boza, but no one man can step on Mikel. That is the trick of the game, you know. And it's a trick about the football, you know. You see, once Mikel on the field, 2-3 man have mark him, and the coach will make sure and say, yo, don't make a man to get away. That's why Mikel can't free. If you notice, if they can't get back and him, foul him. So the coach have to use him now and get the rest of man in free. So the rest of man if you score, that is the trick about football. When Mbappe is on France side, the rest of man give a chance now. For 2-3 man have to hold Mbappe, you know. And Mikel is full Mbappe.
But doesn't Mbappe still score goals?
Yes, when he get away. Because from that so much quality that when they move and you slip, he got a good strike rate.
So why am to make it? Why am to make it and get locked up so he can't get to score?
No, Mikel have to do too much work for we. You see man have to do. All right, anytime he get the ball, look what work him have to do for if you get to the forward. And that not trash here, brother. Look what work him man have to do.
So here's a question for you because West Ham has been trying to replace Mikel for a while. They brought in Danny Ings. They brought in Scamora from Italy. Yeah, but it doesn't mean because he's not. It doesn't mean he's scoring a lot of goals. It means he's a valuable contributor to the team. And look, I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm saying my forward. Look, I'll give you an example, caller. People don't really realize. So you know that there's a dispute now, which is unheard of in England, about whether Harry Kane should be dropped. Harry Kane is England's leading ever goal scorer. Harry Kane was the leading goal scorer in the Bundesliga. Let me just finish for a second, Gary. And Harry Kane had a wonderful season this year. But you know what people are complaining about? The totality of the player is not what it should be to give them the best chance to win. So he may be scoring goals, but he's not creating enough chance for goals to be scored because his movement is poor. He can't run anymore. He's not creating space. He's not running the channels. And they're saying, do we want this? Right? Now, some people will say, you're out of your mind. There's a lot of different opinion on this. The point I'm trying to make is that Mikel may do the other stuff really well, but he's not scoring goals. He's not getting chances, he's not scoring goals.
But listen, Harry Kane not working like Mikel. Harry Kane doesn't stand up.
But he's scoring. But he's scoring.
Our team, the way our team play, the way our team steer, Kranky. Mikel has to depend if we get an extra level with a different player.
I don't look. I like Mikel as a player, but I think Mikel sometimes Mikel needs to be questioned. Here's what we do, caller. A lot of people, and even Claudine, thanks by the way for that 30-minute diatribe the other day. I got diatribe, that 30-minute soliloquy where you really went hard and you know your football, Claudine. But I say this: it's almost as if we can't question Miguel. We can't question Miguel. If you bring up Miguel, people like Kranky, you know what you're talking about. Dixon, Boza, Miguel, they're on different planets. And I'm like, Miguel is more accomplished, but where the goals beside your name? Because when you retire from football as a striker, what do they go to? How many goals you scored? And how many games you take you to score those goals? Are you 1 in 3 striker? Are you 1 in 5 striker? Are you 1 in 6 striker? Right?
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you something. Right? Mikel, I got really score a goal for we in Jamaica. Goal, right? You see goal when I score for we, look how far I have to go. We are down the ticket. All right, listen now. So Miguel, he start score for we have to get the next 2 talented baller up front. That means they take the eye for Mikel. That's what we do. He means don't go the one up the head. I think up on the field a 2-3 man around him. 2-3 man. Right. Look if he never get a ball, he get a ball and a 1 man and he have to run to carry it. No. If he get the ball, he have to try to carry it to the team. Come way up. Come give him boy. That's why the rest of man them free. And that is Jamaica problem. Kranky is that Mikel is Jamaica problem. We don't have a next great baller up there. If we have a next baller up there, we can have some of the eyes off of Mikel. He full in it.
So caller, I'm gonna take you to task on that. So here's what I'm gonna say about that. You're saying Gray is not good. You're saying Reed is not good.
Oh,
you're saying Bailey's not good. Come on. You say up there, no. You say up there, which means they're up there.
Now talk to you now. You'll get to know. How much game Mikel and Gray play together?
Well, Gray played Gold Cup.
No.
Wait. No. Let's say six.
No,
Five,
man.
maybe
No,
maybe
fix
five
up,
or
man.
six. 5 or 6.
No, fix up. Most of the time, man, in John, no fix up. I will fix you up.
I didn't say Gray
When
alone, you
Gray
know. I said Bailey. I said Bobby Reed. I didn't say Gray alone. So just don't focus on Gray.
Hey, man. Oh, listen, man. What we call the biggest ball of our fulfillment and go funny. I hear my body, man. Nobody wants to learn Bailey. What's up, nice? A Gray come now, and start focus. Look where they are. When Gray never in the team. And Leon Bailey and Mikel. How many ball? Mikel, give Leon Bailey free because 3-4 man for Mikel. And he give Leon Bailey for score 1. You remember that? I got that can show you. And you know how Mikel and Gray play tomorrow together. Gray are going to follow in it for them for time the two of them.
So we'll see tomorrow because it will be on display tomorrow against Mexico. We'll see tomorrow. All right? We'll see tomorrow. Look, I'm not saying Mikel doesn't create space for others. I'm not saying Mikel is not an attribute and an asset. What I'm saying is that Mikel is not scoring goals. And that's not disputable.
Yeah,
so we can talk all we want about different things. Not only is not scoring, he's not even getting chances to score.
You don't get no chance. Between you know.
But caller, you have to put yourself in position to get a chance to score. If you play forward, you know that. You have to create space and give your team a chance to get the ball to score.
Kranky. You play with instruction with your coach. Him can't go take balls and punch and play directly to the striker when the coach is a play behind and take the ball. And carry the other team come to you. Yeah, you cannot use the coach to make it Kranky. Kranky, you have to use your head with a coach, you have to tell her,
So people, let me say this. Here's a fallacy in the argument. People, here's a fallacy in the argument. Listen to this. So when we played Canada, right? And we got those chances. Was it Boza who scored those goals? Right? When Boza played without Mikel, isn't Boza still scoring? Because subsequent to the Gold Cup, you know, it's Boza been starting most of those games and he's been scoring goals. Mikel has had a chance to Gold Cup against not the best teams in some of the Gold Cup games. He didn't score any goal. So we're going to use the same analogy and the same example for. Go ahead.
Mikel assists in the Gold Cup. He assists about 3 goals.
I'm not saying he doesn't. Okay, we can go to assist. I'm talking about scoring goals. He's not scoring no goal.
He never kicked them. He could have played selfish and kick them. And I don't want to let you in front. He could have kicked it in the goal himself and he don't kick it. He just pass. He knows selfish, man. Come on. And Boza is the man who played the dead striker. Mikel is the work rate and work hard around him. And that's where the coach puts you, brother. See, you have to play towards where the coach set you up.
But what's the excuse when Mikel plays when Mikel was playing with Bailey, for example? So so Boza wasn't on the field. When Boza is on the field, he's scoring, but Mikel is on the field, he's not scoring.
Look at if anyhow Mikel Leon score, he score 3. He get 3 assists.
Okay.
But 1 million want to see. Me want to be see. Mikel did the main man. Take the ball and give him. Don't make him have to work, come up for the ball and cry like a old up. That me don't understand with the coach. If he make the man play like a Boza, get the opportunity free and make him score a goal. He got him to do too much work. I got to mash up the football, brother. And him at the work hard.
No, I don't disagree with that because when Baker plays for West Ham, he plays the same way. When he plays for West Ham, he plays the same way. He's playing on the last man. No, I agree, but I'm just saying he doesn't score a ton of goals for West Ham either.
What is it, man?
He doesn't score a ton of goals for West Ham either.
What is it, man? Come on, man. He might the most goals for West Ham.
He doesn't score a ton of goals for West Ham either. Bowen has more goals than Mikel. Well, Mikel was injured most of the year.
All right. Now ask something. Every time I start to go, then score, I think I go back and save them and score again. Come on, man. Come on, we are talking about. Brother. You don't watch football, man. We are talking about, man. Every time everybody from the come and put him down for boy, he not scoring enough because I him not depend for score for them and save them every time. And him, every time we start playing like how we play Boza, him and the man, you pass the ball up, they'll give to him a different thing. We don't want him have to play for the flank. Him have come in midfield. Him have to work. Him have to take off. Oh my God Almighty! I don't know how he survive. He got too much work.
Carla. Mikel Antonio played 26 games this year in the Premier League. He scored 6 goals.
All right. And he injured most of the time. He just come back.
No. Carla, don't jump around here. We said he played. I didn't say what he was injured. I said he played 26 games this year. He scored 6 goals.
Right.
That's not a prolific goal scorer.
How many assists?
He had a couple of assists.
Right.
So 26. And he played 6 Europa League games. He scored 1 goal.
Yes.
So in 32 games, he scored 7 goals and 2 assists. We're not call that. 32 games, 7 goals, 2 assists. Yes. The stats speak for themselves. Yes. It's not prolific. He's not prolific.
Exactly. Prolific. The season.
It's not prolific, period. Carla, you don't want to go to him. Look, he's a good football. People, we're not trying to. I'm going to move the conversation along, Carla. I appreciate the call, but let me just say this. I'm not trying to beat Miguel, people. I'm just saying, people, let's think of alternative, right? Let's just say this. Miguel's a very good player, but we have other strikers who do well. And sometimes we don't say, look, Miguel, you have to start scoring, Miguel, because you can't just go on the football field, see a hold up ball and get assist and put the ball in net. Because a striker, you judge him to score.
Exactly. Yes, Miguel, Kranky, you're right. But what I'm trying to show you, Kranky, you don't know if the coach are trying to play that way and Miguel is on the field. They are tricks at the game.
Right.
When Miguel, everybody are hold up. They are hold him up. So that me say we can't tell where the coach are do. We know some are good baller. And them independent field, 2-3 months, he come like a messy, 2-3 months around him. But Miguel be so great at skill and got such a good ball around him. So that not try to show you say that not say we know see now custom, you know. We know some go about 3 saying now score. A man just can't score so.
Right.
You see me I say?
Yeah.
And the man have to assist the ball to him. Hold the ball, take the ball as we say position ball. That he can move in a position and slip it to him. Nobody now do it. And him have to take it and give the man him down there. So we understand you, but we tell us when we want to show you say the coach today, we don't know if that the coach will do. And that's the problem.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. I don't know what the coach is. I don't think the coach have any strategy, so I don't know what that strategy is.
Listen, between me and you. The last match when I see Miguel play, and in the way in the midfield. So I say, but I don't put him on midfield if you have him down that play midfield. Because I hear say I take the ball and create 100 foul. If we don't have a good free kicker, we score up a goal for free kick, the amount of free kick we get this up. But I don't know what to say. But I just allow the coach. I think the coach, between me, you know, I the best coach we never got, different from René Simon at the moment.
Right.
This coach, I try to build something. We as a ball, we want everything same time. But the man when he come in, he don't find nothing. He come to Jamaica team and he don't find nothing. And the problem what we have now, the Copa ball and them where they don't have no papers. And then when we get papers. The people say they don't call him ball and they don't got. If they make the papers, we're going to be a good force at it. I think what the coach are trying to build, to me, I don't know about him. He might try to build a defensive solidity game team first. And before we catch the World Cup, he might build the next half. Better people, do. In a rush, not try to build middle, attacking everything one time.
All right, Carla, I don't disagree with you. He's focused on defense, but I do have to leave you because I want to play some of the messages. But I appreciate the call. All right, I appreciate the call.
Yeah. I want to say something before I leave.
Yeah.
You're not going to the studio now.
In what studio?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to make some music, man. I'm going to make some music, man. I'm going to make Reggae Boyz music, man. You ready, man? You ready?
I try a thing. That thing I did is my music career. Without but thanks for the compliment, but we don't think we're ready for this. But I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Bless up. Yes, all right. Thanks, God. I appreciate it. That was Mr. Chicago, people. I'm trying to play some of these comments from the Reggae Boyz. I'm gonna play Gray first. I'm gonna play John Bell, but most importantly, I'm gonna play the pre-game So it'd be probably about 20 minutes in total, I think, for all of these. So just listen up. This is Gray speaking, being interviewed by Simon Preston.
So we joined with Reggae Boy, Demarai Gray. Firstly, Demi, welcome back to camp. How does it feel to be back with the lads?
It's good to be back. Disappointed to miss the World Cup qualifiers, but happy the boys got the 6 points, and yeah, it's glad to be back with the boys and excited for this tournament.
And physically, how are you feeling after how the season ended for you?
Yeah, difficult end with the injury. I had about 6 weeks out, but over the last few weeks I've been working. I'm trying to get as fit as possible for the Copa. So yeah, we've got a few more days for me to build, and hopefully I can get off to a good start against Mexico.
Yeah, it's amazing how time flies as well, Demi, because a year ago, you're making your debut for Jamaica. I just wanted you to touch a little bit on the journey that you've had so far playing for Jamaica and how much you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been good. So I've seen a lot, playing for Jamaica, playing back in Jamaica, and being at the Gold Cup and now this competition. So it's been good. It's been exciting, and fans have shown me a lot of love and respect, and the boys have been good. So it's been a good experience, and these tournaments and the World Cup and the qualifiers that we've got ahead. There's a lot of exciting things to look forward to, and yeah, I'm just taking it each game at a time, and trying to achieve and contribute as much as I can to the country.
Yeah, and as you know, in March we had the Nations League where you were able to get your first medal for Jamaica. I'm sure that was a proud moment as well, and that medal is safe at home as well.
Yeah, of course. Throughout my career, I want to get as many medals as I can, win as many things as I can, and I think we're a nation that's slowly building. I think you can see the talent and the potential that we've got. Things don't happen overnight, so we have to be a bit patient, but there's a lot to look forward to. Just qualifying and making different competitions is good for us as players, the young players coming through, the fans. It's just good for the whole nation. So I think that'll be the main objectives, just try to be as successful as we can in competitions and just building.
And finally, Demi, how much are you looking forward to this summer, the Copa America?
Yeah, very excited. It's one I've been looking forward to. Obviously, if you look at the history of this tournament, see how many good players have played in it, and it's a very competitive tournament and a testing tournament, and I want to be tested at the highest levels in the best competitions, and I'm happy that we're in this, and I've got an opportunity to showcase what we're about. It's going to be a tough tournament because it's very high quality, but without these tests, we're not going to push ourselves. So yeah, I'm very excited. I can't wait for the first game.
So that was Demarai Gray being interviewed by Simon. I love how Demarai say he's very excited, but his demeanor doesn't change. I thought that was interesting, actually. But Demarai has been a stand-up performer for us since he has joined the squad. I think if we look at a lot of players who may not born the island who has joined the squad, I think his impact has been as big and as significant as any player since I've been watching the Reggae Boyz play who has joined the team. Now, this is John Bell, who's now in the team, was in the last squad, and this is his interview.
We have with us Reggae Boyz left back John Bell. Firstly, John, welcome back to camp. How are you doing, and how does it feel to be back in the squad?
It's a blessing. Every chance you get to represent your country, it feels great to be here, and I feel great. I feel confident.
Yeah, of course, as we know, on Wednesday evening, you and your club Seattle took on Houston Dynamo. How are you feeling physically?
Obviously a little bit tired, played some heavy minutes, but we had a good result. We played well, so overall, it's a good feeling.
All right, and just so that fans in Jamaica and all across the globe can get to know you a little bit better, let's talk about your background a bit. Who in your family was born on the island?
My dad actually, he's from Kingston, Jamaica. We still have a lot of family there that's in Kingston and Mobay and Ocho Rios. So mostly all the family really Jamaican.
Yeah, and it's amazing how time goes by so quickly. Your debut was against Guatemala back in November up in New York, New Jersey. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, it was a great feeling. Obviously my first opportunity, And it was special just because I had all my family there from, my parents and then my cousins and everything like that. So it was a great feeling.
And for you personally, how did you feel when you got the call from the coach that you were part of the squad and your first tournament for Jamaica?
Yeah, it was a blessing, really. You work hard each day, for opportunities like this to come. And for him to call is just a great chance, to show myself again.
Yeah, and for you, how much are you looking forward to this tournament that lies ahead?
Yeah, I think we have a really great squad with a lot of potential to make a lot of noise in the tournament. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for everybody on this squad really to showcase what Jamaica really has.
So that was John Bell. As you can hear, he plays in the MLS. And it's interesting that we will see as time progresses more and more players who are playing in different leagues where their parents have migrated who may want to play for Jamaica, even though they may have an opportunity to play for other countries, because obviously we know the brand is strong. This is now the pre-match interview. It's not the best. The audio is not the best, actually, but with Palmer and the coach. See, the audio is not great.
Thumbs up, guys.
Let's beer interview. It will come more clear, but it's not the clearest at the outset. You can barely hear this. I'm gonna try to turn this up as high as possible. They look like they had some interest.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Okay.
Welcome to the CONMEBOL Copa America 2024 USA. We are here with the coach Emil Hudlinson and the player Casey Palmer of Jamaica national team. Before the start, please remember it's not allowed to broadcast or record with any cell phone or any device. Remember that you can download the press conference using the QR available in the room. If you want to ask, please raise your hand and wait to be chosen for the microphone. Introduce yourself and the media you belong to. Questions?
Puede ser en español.
Sí.
Hola, buenas tardes, Juan Carlos Ibarrarán de W Radio. ¿Cómo nos deja o qué piensan ustedes acerca de que para este partido México llega como favorito para llevarse este partido? Gracias.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, good hear.
Okay.
Okay. For us, it's no problem who the. Oh, can I talk in?
It's okay.
Okay,
It's
it's
okay.
good. Yeah, for us, it's no problem who the media take as the favorite. I think it's going to be about who turns up on the day on the pitch. I think we're here, we're confident, we fancy our chances to get out of the group, and yeah, we'll see what happens on the day.
Okay. They will be.
¿Qué no se escuchó?
No.
He will be.
Thank you, Matt.
Hello, Coach Hamilton and Casey Palmer. My name is Valentina Peña. I'm from W Radio Colombia. I have a question for you both. For the coach, many people in Colombia use the expression Cinderella, la Cenicienta, when they come to the less favorite team. But I personally do not think it's like that. What do you think is Jamaica's biggest weapon against a team like Mexico? And for Palmer, Mexico's defense hasn't been really good in the last games. 4-0 against Uruguay, 3-2 against Brazil. How do you think you can break that defense? Thank you.
Well, first of all, I think we are pleased with how we are progressing as a team, not in a specific way. So we are just growing as a team in I think all areas of the game. We are really lethal. We have fast players. We have individual skills in our team, and we are getting more and more tactical as we progress as a unit, play more games with each other, etc. So I think that is our strength now at the moment. We are a improving collective unit, but with a lot of individual skills, with a lot of speed in our team. So that is, in my opinion, our strengths. Playing against Mexico, the powerhouse in our confederation, I think we need to go back 7, 8 years to find the latest win for Jamaica against Mexico. So they are the powerhouse of our confederation, and on paper, probably more likely to win the game. But luckily for us, this game is not played on paper; it's played out there. And on the day, like Casey said before, on the day, we just need to be good on the day and have a really good game to beat a team like Mexico.
Yeah, I think for me, we have many different weapons. I think, like the coach said, we have a lot of pace in the team, but we also have a lot of players that can create individual moments and do individual brilliance to create openings. Like you said, they've had difficult moments defending against some big teams, against some top players. So we would have watched and we've done our analysis on what we think we can do to kind of break them down. So yeah, it goes back to that again, that we've got to turn up on the day and show them moments in the big moments that can be decisive to win us the game.
Thank you. Hello, Coach. My name is Moises Avila, Agence France Presse. I would like to know how did you manage the absence of Bailey? At the beginning, he was considered in the main list, but now he's not. Were you considering him, or you had enough with the team you already have? And the other question is about Mexico. Maybe this is not the best version of Mexico that we have seen in the last years. What is your opinion about the team you're gonna play with tomorrow?
So we just like to focus on the players that we have. We're not thinking about the players we don't have, and we're really happy with the squad that is here. So we turn our focus and attention to our players here, and we're quite happy with the team. And like we have said before, individual talents in more or less all the positions. So there's a good depth now in the Jamaica team. So happy with that. Mexico will always be Mexico. It's the same style of play, no matter who is playing. There's a little rotation, yes, in the squad, but I think the playing style will be the same. They are aggressive. They are direct, really fast players, individual skilled players. So we need to be really compact if we want to get results. We need to be on the day perfect tactically if we want to win Mexico tomorrow.
He estado viendo la Spanish.
Yes. No. Behind you.
En español. Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes. ¿Ustedes creen que es una ventaja que México no haya convocado a jugadores como Guillermo Ochoa, Henry Martin y Raúl Jiménez?
Can you repeat it, please?
Okay. Sí. ¿Ustedes creen que es una ventaja que México no haya convocado a sus estrellas como Guillermo Ochoa, Henry Martin, Irving Lozano y Raúl Jiménez?
No, we will have to see tomorrow. We will have to see tomorrow if it's an advantage or not. Mexico has millions of football players to select from. They have really good league in Mexico. The players that are coming in are younger, mostly younger players. So probably thinking about recycling for the World Cup in 2022 as well, giving younger players a chance. So understandable that the coach would like to rotate, but I don't think it's an advantage. I don't think it is a disadvantage, not for us, but for Mexico. We'll see tomorrow.
Me gustaría preguntarle al coach, si ha tenido la posibilidad de platicar con Michael Antonio acerca de Edson Álvarez, que es su compañero en el West Ham, y lo que puede influir Edson en el juego de la selección mexicana, si han hablado sobre alguna forma de detenerlo con el conocimiento que tienen ya de él, y a Casey sobre su opinión sobre Santiago Jiménez, que podría ser titular mañana en el juego ante Jamaica. ¿Qué opina él sobre Santiago como delantero y cómo lo han analizado?
Well, like all the other players, we have been watching more or less every individual in this squad for the last few months. We know them quite well. There's not a weakness in this Mexican team, not a weakness in this Mexican team. I'm not sure if my scouts talked to Antonio about him, but I think we watch the English league quite a lot, so we know a lot about the players that are playing in England.
Yeah, I think for me, like you said, about individual players, we've kind of looked at the whole team and we know the strengths of the individuals, like you mentioned with Alvarez, which a lot of us will watch the Premier League week in, week out. So we know there's a lot of strength in depth, and like the coach said before, there's a lot of options to pick from with Mexico. So whoever comes in, we know is going to be a strong opponent, and the style of play doesn't change. So we're prepared for whatever comes tomorrow.
Buenas tardes. Solo quiero preguntarle, he estado viendo la lista, es un Jamaica muy a la inglesa. Pregunto si me puede confirmar si es un Jamaica que juega a la inglesa.
Well, you will have to wait and see what style we will play tomorrow. But yes, it's a lot of Jamaican players playing at the highest level. So it's good for the national team, for the country to be able to select players from a league like the English Premier League, the French League, even Saudi. So it's a privilege to have players from Jamaica playing at the highest level. If we play an English style, I don't even know what an English style is. You saw the English national team play yesterday or the day before yesterday. It was not a especially nice style that they played. So let's hope we will be better, at least than the English style they showed there.
En español, Mariano Sánchez del Diario AS. La selección mexicana no llega en su mejor momento, ya lo decían. Viene de goleadas contra Uruguay, de partidos que no dejan un buen sabor de boca en la afición y en los medios. ¿Es esta la gran oportunidad de Jamaica para vencer a la selección mexicana en un torneo importante?
Well, looking upon the opponents, Mexico has been playing late. They lost against US, they lost against Brazil and Uruguay. So it's maybe not the worst teams to play against it. So it goes without saying they were playing against the top teams in the world, and it was all good games, all hard-fought games. So they come in here, knowing exactly what they need to do. And I don't think losing against Brazil will take a lot of confidence away from Mexico. I don't believe so. So yeah, Mexico will always play this similar style. Like I said before, their style is really direct, is really counter-attacking, individual skills, and fierce football, really fierce football.
Good afternoon, Coach, right here in the back. Ale Bonega from Central America. Jamaica has become the team to beat now in the Concacaf area. That given that you guys don't have enough infrastructure, you guys don't have enough resources. And every time we hear from Central American teams, when they failed, their first excuse is, we don't have the resources. So how is Jamaica now one of the teams to beat without half of the infrastructure or resources that Central America have, and Jamaica is doing a lot better now?
You want to start with this one? It's a tricky one. It's a political one.
I think for us here as a squad, we don't kind of want to make any excuses for any of the past things, like you say, with the infrastructure, but we know what doing well can lead to and what success that can bring to the next generation of Jamaicans growing up, with the finances that getting out the group or going as far as we can in every big tournament. We know how much finances that can bring in, that can affect the things that you mentioned with creating better facilities and stuff for the next generation. So I think that's kind of our focus, and that's where our mind is. We can't kind of change previous, say, what you would say, excuses of not having certain things in place, but we know, what change we can make.
I think it's a collective thing as well from the boys, and I give them a big credit for coming from the league like the Premier League, where everything is, at your fingertips, and coming to Jamaica and doing the best from from the things we have. That's just a kind of a pact from them. We're going to do no matter what. We're going to do the best we can, even though the facilities and the surroundings around us is not the same as they are used to. Of course, it's a little bit demotivational, and that's the tricky part. But it's fantastic mentality within the squad to don't let the outside things bother you. Focus on what we can do and only on things that we can do. We cannot control, other things, so don't put the focus on that. I think that is wonderful from the players, just to come with that mindset when they come and play for Jamaica.
Hi, Ralph Hanna with Guarani Vision. I had a question about mentality, but more looking on the pitch. You just played 2 World Cup qualifiers where you're essentially favourites to win those games. Now you're going into a tournament where you're probably the underdogs, looking at the 3 opponents in the group. So how do you work on that in the mentality of maybe going from what you might expect more of a possession game to then having to play on the back foot? Is that something you're looking at, you're working on? Does it come naturally because the players are used to adapting tactically to different games?
Honestly, I think that has been Jamaica's problem in the past where they should be superior. That has been kind of the problems, to lose points against teams that on paper look easier to win. So we were just happy that in the World Cup matches we played, we came out victorious. We had, of course, a lot of chances to score goals, but we didn't kind of convert them, and that was the thing why we didn't win with a bigger margin than we did. But we won the games. This is World Cup, and that's all that matters. But you're correct. I think when it's needed the most, they show up and they always deliver. And it's kind of now has been, at least since I came, we've been playing teams above us in the ranking, more or less, and we've done quite well. I think we are closing the gap between us and the biggest teams. If you look at the FIFA ranking or the Concacaf ranking, we are always closing the gap, and hopefully one day we will be among the top 4 teams in the Concacaf region, so we can avoid playing group stages and etc. and go straight to semi-finals or quarterfinals. So that's our aim. But I think we are used to playing teams that on paper are better than us. We come into this tournament, the lowest ranked team, out from, I think only Bolivia is below us in the ranking. So we come here as the non-favorites. And honestly, I think that suits us. You want to add to this?
Yeah, I think for me especially, I like going into a game as an underdog. I don't mind being the one that everyone thinks we're going to lose. People might go into the game tomorrow, or people are watching the game thinking Mexico are going to dominate us. For me, that's fine. Like, we know what we can do, we know what we're capable of, and we're silently confident that we can come out victorious.
¿Qué tal? Buenas tardes, Carlos Rodrigo Hernández de Fox Sports. La pregunta es para los dos. Yo quisiera preguntarles qué virtudes tiene esta selección, qué fútbol vamos a ver para que ustedes puedan ser la sorpresa de esta Copa América. Muchas gracias.
So that was the interview, people, and somebody's asking me, how come Liam Bailey's not on the squad? So let's go through that pretty quickly. I have a chart up here for a reason. I'll talk about this chart. But let's go to the interview. The reason why he's still on the squad, because he's still on the squad. Yes, he's not going to participate, but he's on the squad. And I'll come to that, because the reporter asked a good question and the coach sort of shirked the question. Now, first of all, I think there should be a translator here when the question is being asked. I'm sure there may have been one in the room, because I'm not sure how Gerson Palmer speaks Spanish. And if you notice, a lot of the reporters were asking questions in Spanish. And frankly, I'm ashamed of myself, because I took 4 years of Spanish. And all I remember was just Buenos tardes and the normal everyday stuff you can understand. They were speaking pretty quickly, rapido, but I am embarrassed that I couldn't translate most of what was said, actually. Some of it, yes, but most of it. But that's just me. The reporter asks about a player in the squad, and the coach says he's not focused on players not in the squad. He is still in the squad. The list I put up is the final list that was provided to Concacaf, so he's still in the squad. And the reporter had a right to ask the question, and I think the coach sort of smirked, because the coach says He's only focused on players in the squad. What are the players in the squad? That's why the reporter asked the question. So it's a difficult question to address, given all we know. We all know what has transpired. But the report is looking at the list saying he's in the squad. Why is he not here? Right? It's a fair question to ask. So the coach saying, well, we only focus on players in the squad. He had the players on the list, the players in the squad. So there's a difference between physical presence and what the list says. Secondly, that question about style. Someone's asking about what style we're going to play. People haven't been watching us. These people haven't been watching. We play K&H style. The kick and hope style is what we play. So when we talk about style and formation and system and strategy and whatever when you talk about in football, we know what our style is. And if they haven't been watching us, they won't know what our style is. I thought it was an interesting question and answer because I'm not sure Palmer answered the question the way it was phrased, which was, the reporter asked, look, in Central America, there's excuses made about how well they compete against the bigger teams in the region. I'm going to paraphrase the question. So if that's the case, why is Jamaica with 3 million population doing well when the other teams in the region, similar or larger populations, are not doing well when it comes to the bigger teams, whether it's playing against US, Canada, to a lesser extent, because Latin is a Spanish-speaking country, Costa Rica. Why isn't El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, Nicaragua, why aren't they doing as well against these teams when Jamaica's doing well? And Palmer said, well, we only focus on, what we can do and all that. That was not the question. It's a different answer. The answer probably should be a combination of, look, if I was answering the question, I would have said this. One is Jamaica is a very industrious country, sporting people. You can look at what we accomplish versus our population. The size of our island doesn't equate to our accomplishments in general, especially in sports. Look at our track and field team, for example. Secondly, we export a lot of intellectual capital and a lot of people, and we also bring back some of that capital. So even though we don't have the resources, we can leverage a more global population to inform our football team, not just the people on those who reside on the island. Yes, we produce a lot of good footballs on the island, but we also have a large diaspora, which we also leverage. So, and the countries in Latin America also export intellectual capital. Not sure how much they leverage that, but us as a country, we are holistic in our approach, and we leverage that to inform and support and supplement the entirety of our team. We don't think about our team as just domestic. It's a global team in a sense, and we leverage capital from everywhere. So even though the JFF may not have the resources at its disposal, it does think deductively and creatively about how we garner the human capital to play in the football field. And secondly, the players who are part of that are patriotic, they're committed, they want to win, and they function as a team. And when we come together, we play accordingly, right? I didn't like how we answered the question, so I'll be honest. And I'm just thinking on the top of my head about how I would answer it. Now, I'm sure it was a question that wasn't anticipated, but I didn't think the answer was what was being asked for, because it was a comparative between why are you guys doing well and why we're not doing well. What are you guys doing that we think about it, people? We complain about that, We're saying the reason why we don't produce enough good local players, or not good, world-class local players, is because we don't have the resources. Right? That's what we're saying. That's what Latin America is saying, where they can compete with the top teams in the region. But I don't want to belabor that point, but I think it's important. I bring up this graph here on the chart, on this table here, to show you something about our ranking. Now, I was going through this today. So we are ranked 53rd. And since Grima came over, I think we have moved about 10 places. So if you can see this really well, I'm trying to spread this out. October 22, do I have the right chart here? Maybe I have the wrong chart. I'm trying to show you something here because I looked at it today. So we are ranked 53rd in the world. And I think someone says only Bolivia is below us. No, Venezuela is also below us. They're 54th. But if you look at our ranking and how we have moved, I think in December 22, we were ranked 64th. You can see it here. I'm trying to move the cursor here. And now we are ranked 53rd. So you can see over the last 2 years, we have moved up about 11 places. That's awesome. So you hear me beating Grimo because you have no style of play. But we must say, and some of this is before Grimo, actually, during Grimo's time. So Grimo took over December, but he was on board around October, I think, when we played, or September when we played Argentina. And we were flat then. We were flat until April 23, and even a little bit higher, June 23, if you look here. So look at June 23. We were ranked about 63rd I would say 63, somewhere around there. We moved around 1-2 spaces. Since June, so in the last year, we moved 11 places. That's huge. So if we're going to beat Grimmer, we got to give him his credit, right? We have moved 11 places in the ranking from 64 to 53. Now, people, if you go to this history, our ranking is volatile. You look at this chart I have up here. So you can see our ranking is volatile. I had one before this, actually. So, and I think we beat, I'm gonna expand this. We beat Whitmore, but look, in 2014, we were ranked 75. We went all the way up, and this is Whitmore's during time period, went all the way up to 47 in 2020. Then we dropped after 2020. This COVID period when we weren't doing that well. Went all the way up to 64, and now we're back down to 53. So we're making progress in terms of that. If you go to this list here, at one point people were ranked 103 in 2007. So our ranking, and we ranked back in 98 down to 33. Our ranking is volatile. It goes all over the place, right? You can see from our ranking there, it's all over the place. It's never fixed and settled. And Gunner's boss decided to talk, but me in the middle of me talking. Gunner's boss, good evening.
Yeah, man, complain all you want. Good afternoon, military boss.
Yeah, what are you saying?
Complain all you want, complain, man.
You call right in the middle of my dissertation talking about ranking. You could even wait till me done before you call me.
All right, well, call me back when you're done then.
No, talk. I'm done. But let me just finish this. Point I'm trying to make people is this. Our ranking is all over the place over the last 20 years. But what we're seeing in the last year, frankly, not even 2 years, is the steady upward climb in the ranking from 64 to 53, which I think is very, very good. So even though we may be grim about we're not enjoying the football, at least our ranking is getting better. And the better our ranking is as a team, as we go further, the more opportunities our player will get to play in some of the better leagues, if they have the ability.
Yes, Kranky. That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
Well, let me ask you now, Kranky. I wasn't seeing, but I was listening to this press conference, right? And me, I wonder, say, I hope Simon, Simon just go there and go sit down, and go and see how an organized press conference is. This is what Leon Bailey want. Leon Bailey want organized press conference. The journalists and the people them going up you, put up them hand professionally. Not as soon as him run off of the field, people are run up to him.
But Gunners boss, I'm gonna stop it there. Gunners boss. Gunners. But I have to stop you. I'm gonna get you.
Go ahead.
So let's give Simon credit. Before Simon, it was a mess. Since Simon came on board, he's put more professionalism around the whole process. Now Simon can't stop somebody in Canada, run up to somebody and put the mic in their face sometimes, because that's not part of the interview environment, interview room. That was just in a hotel lobby, right? So that's not on Simon, but let's give Simon his credit. He's really professionalized the interview. You can realize the structure has changed. The introduction has changed. He's made monumental changes to the whole media environment for the JFF. I just want to give him his credit because I think he deserves his credit. Go ahead.
But, so that thing where the little young man complain about, say, people run up, that was in Canada.
Yes, my understanding was in Canada, yes.
Okay, then if in Canada, you can't, we are going to blame people for that. If you don't know what kind of personal security you want, I know you respond to this.
Well, I think it's a more general comment about personal security because it's a more general comment. But yeah.
It's not about, it's neither here nor here. It's not about that. I'm just congratulating and hoping Simon see this. That means to say when it comes to Jamaica, we can, and the people them, you can rent a venue to have an event, especially a big competition like a big soccer match, and you don't have the venue, whichever you're keeping it from. Security is not organized properly. That's number one. And the press area supposed to be just like how this one is. None of people are run up from people and them things. If there's a press, you set up a press. You understand? That's all me I say. So
yeah.
I never know if Simon had gone to this level yet. But I'm just saying it is a copycat thing. Sports is a copycat. So whenever you go everywhere, you take a little bit of what you see, making those people more professional and add it to your thing. and then we can have a fully professional organization where people don't have to come out and nitpick about these things. Because at the end of the day, I don't people no use word right, I don't think the organization is corrupt. What I think they are is unorganized and a lot of unprofessional people around the situation. That's what I think. So you call that incompetence, not corrupt. All right.
Yeah. No, I mean, no, that has nothing to do with corruption. Right? Corruption is you defalcating funds, is you doing things unethically, inappropriately. It's not about me being incompetent. Doesn't mean I'm corrupt. I'm just not good at what I do.
Exactly. And that's what we want people to understand. I just think the people, they have the wrong people around, and they don't have, like you have Simon now. Simon had a playing part as a man who been around the press and know where the things. You have Manning's man a playing part as a man who been in church and know how to pray for wins and get wins from him God. And you know what I mean? And so on and so on. And that we can get rid of a lot of these gremlins talking every day about who the JPF, this and that. But you know what I mean? You know, Kranky? Everybody appear on these platforms. You different, because you're the man where you can diverse your thing. Everybody where we see, especially our locals and some from the diaspora where they all over the world. Everybody jump on this Reggae Boyz thing, and that's all they talk about. 3, 4, 5 shows a day, 7, 8 shows per week. I am wondering, what are they gonna do after the World Cup run and Jamaica is not active again?
Look, everybody has their interest about. Look, what the YouTubers focus on is what the fans want. Because I can tell you this, Gunners Boss. I came here and I talked about the NBA for about 10 minutes, and somebody said this all I talked about was the NBA, right? So we have individuals who love their football, especially the national team. That's what they want to focus on. And I have no problem with that. My philosophy in life is that I always try to be broad-based about what I do. I love sports, not just football. So like track and field, I'm a track and field disciple. I may not know the technicalities of the sport, but I love the sport. I'm going to talk about it, right? And I try to be as informed as possible. Doesn't mean I'm well informed. So it doesn't mean that what I'm doing is better than anybody else, but I'm diversified in my view and how I live and how I operate. And I'm going to talk about things that I have interest in. And hopefully the audience will indulge me to be able to do so. Because let's be frank, people. If you're not getting the views and the subscribers, you might as well not be in business of YouTube. Guys, that can cost money to run these platforms. And people want to generate income. That's why some people do it. I do it because, frankly, I love doing this. I love having a dialogue. I love engaging. I love presenting in general. But we all have different reasons why we do this.
Just let me cut you right. Just tell me you're retired, you're boring, you're right. So you
No. I caught the fever from Minzy and Manning's. No, I caught the fever from being on 101 and by people. Support Arsenal 101 if you're an Arsenal fan, with Apollo and Tony and others. Support Manning's Man program, support Coach's Desk, support JD, support all the channels, because that's the only thing I watch actually. I don't watch TV, Gunners Boss. This is my fun. And I caught the bug when I go on these channels and they give me a chance on a platform to run my mouth. I love it. So that's why I say, you know what? Why not just run my mouth on my own time, on my own platform? So no, I mean, I love this. It's not about the money. It's about the engagement. It's about the challenge. What I tell people, please do not be disrespectful. That's not a good thing. Let's respect each other. We can sometimes disagree and disagree vehemently. Doesn't mean we have to disrespect each other, right? We all love sports. That's why we're here. And if somebody want to focus on Reggae Boyz, that's their thing. But you're right about this. If you're not diversified, which is what some companies suffer from, at some point when those things are not in the news, then what do you fall back on? Because you always got to fall back in life. It's like people playing sports, Gunners Boss, and them mash up them knee, but them never do their medication. So that's how I view life.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. People don't like up the stream, like up Kranky thing and subscribe. No, who not subscribe yet? Jump on and subscribe. We want to see some kids on it now. Some kids we want to see behind those numbers.
Yeah, I'm Gunners Boss. I must say Gunners Boss. Somebody can give you kudos and your flowers before you leave tonight, which is your soliloquy. It's 23 minutes where you spoke about that situation. It went viral. I think I had 2,000 plus views. So you're helping me grow this program. So I appreciate you. You and Claudine actually, because you and Claudine thing. Claudine was a little bit longer. I got so many good comments on both of your things that I clipped. Like if I had 100 comments, it was 95 positive for both of yours. So I appreciate both of you actually. Doesn't mean I don't appreciate everyone actually, people. I'm just saying I appreciate them coming on, having their perspective, me sending it out, and people really respecting it because it was logical and it resonated with people. So thanks.
Yeah, man, I mean, man, you know, say anything we touch up to go viral, man. I want to say some people when they call me, all here I had you call me, and I say, yes, like Southie, my friend Southie, and everybody I call me, Diego I call me, and I'm going to make me respect, and I say, yes, make sure when you get that next hour when you're going on back again, you call me, so me and you can have the discussion. And I tell Diego, Diego, first thing, you can't have no discussion with me for sports where Diego again, because you are, no, number one, you own a team where has never won a championship in your lifetime. I'm a Miami Heat fan. We won 3. We went to like 5 or 6 championships. I won 3 in my lifetime. And you don't see your team with a championship in your lifetime. You can't talk to me. So I want, yeah, man. You have to set up an hour for me and Diego.
All right. So I will So when I set up the hour, do I then cancel it? Because you guys may just destroy my show. You know, you guys may just put me out the air because I know how you guys get. But you and Diego.
People love content. and you see a lot of people don't understand the algorithm for YouTube. You know, YouTube is not controlled by Federal Communication Corporation, FCC or whatever them call it. They're not. So after the first 2 minutes, you can go hard. But you don't have to curse no bad word. But if you notice all the people them Stephen channel go up on him channel, him not do it on ESPN because them syndicated on a regulated program, but him go on him thing and him call Jason Whitlock all kind of fat name, this, that, and all kind of thing. Because you can't do that over there.
Right. Yeah, no, I noticed he didn't go hard on Jason on his program, but he went hard on him on his own program, right?
On his personal
on his
platform. So I just have to understand the social media platform is a different thing.
Yeah.
If you watch even Cam Newton them and all these other people and Ocho Cinco them and them, when them are bust it up, them do them thing and them use what them tell you it's a profanity, caution, profanity, because couple of that are gonna drop especially when them start sip and smoke and do them thing. Mason, Cameron, them, the whole of them. So I just saw the show going on because you have to just understand the algorithm. After 2 minutes, man. 2 minutes, after 2 minutes, you can go hard, man. I mean, me the man, most of the show them stiff. You call them the people them want my thing when me not have to be censored, Me just want to be me. And when me on a certain show, me can't be me because me have to talk some things and talk, right? Me have list down and I mean,
but sometimes you need lipstone, right? Sometimes you say some things you need lipstone. you know that, right?
No, I prefer Freudian sleep.
You prefer Freudian sleep. All right, I hear you.
Yes. So every now and again, why
so here's what I'm gonna do. In the next 2 weeks, I'll give you. I don't know what Diego. Me interview Diego first before me put him on. But I'll give you about half hour. But we gotta have a script that you're talking to. All right, we have to have a script. So but you come on live or you come on through phone. Cause I know someone don't like TV, like in that background. You come on live. All right. So we catch up. Man. But I'll give you time. It's deserved time, by the way.
The people like up the video. No, I'm not telling you again. Share the video. Subscribe the video. Kranky tomorrow. Jamaica versus Mexico. I like a youth from Honduras today. I tell him say Mexico gonna beat Jamaica. Then go in my wallet and pull out a slipper and show me. He say no, Mexico no buena, Jamaica.
So you say Mexico is not good. By the way, Mexico no buena people. Bueno, I know that one word means no good.
Yeah, he say Mexico no buena. Mañana, tomorrow, Jamaica. I'm gonna put up in finger and tell me say Jamaica gonna beat Mexico.
Well, Latin American countries don't like Mexico. They don't like Mexico. You know that. So they go. Everybody love Jamaica. They don't love Mexico. Yeah.
So with him telling me that this little youth him love the football, he love football. I'm a Barcelona fan. The man in a miss. He love football, brother. Give me all the app them and I can watch the game, fan. And him tell me say Jamaica got beat Mexico tomorrow 2-0. So you want me I don't know. Me I squeeze in a little 1-0 win.
Right. Yeah. Well, Yeah, I hope we win. I hope we win. By the way, people, I'm having a show tomorrow from 8, between 8 and 8:30. I don't know yet, but I'm doing a pregame show. I'm doing a watch along, and I'm doing a postgame show. So hopefully you can join me. I know there's going to be a ton. Every YouTuber from Jamaica will have them one watch along tomorrow. But I think this is the place to be, if you agree with me.
Yeah,
So.
man, come over here, come join me.
Yeah, come join me. We'll talk some football.
We're not moderated too much. Just be respectful to each other in the comment section. Sometimes when Travis Space off to slap a man cross in face, a man just take a little one slap right off his face, slap him back. But not go too hard too much because we're not moderated, and we're not keep on stiff, We want to come over here and enjoy the show. So just come join me and let's have some great time over here. With that said, Sir P.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, Sir P. I don't like how the regurgitate the thing them and me and Kranky TV first put out anything about them to go and burn the biggest fire. You come now and you burn a fire. I wonder if you're listening with thing. I wonder if Sir P like it. Sir P, I hope you listen to it, you like it and share it and left a comment over there, Sir P. I don't know where we're here, Yeah, I don't.
Well, people, we know Sir P is not showing, and Sir P, I don't encourage you to do this. He's not showing his face. And by the way, people, let me say this before we're done because we're finished at 8 o'clock. I apologize for not going to the team. I apologize for not going to potential squad. It was part of the program, but this got away from me. But I'll say this: if you join me tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we're gonna do all of that, right? Maybe this is a teaser I just give you to join me tomorrow at 8 as we go to the squad, we go to the team, we project the squad. We project Jimmy's. We're gonna have my team and your team, but also Grimmer's team because we know Grimmer align with me. Sorry, go ahead, Gunners boss.
Yeah, man, Sir P need to give a little credit, man, over here, man, and make them and promote the Kranky. Tell the people them over Sir P place. Tell the people them to come join me over Kranky line because they give us strength on that and you don't give enough credit. You're stealing our Sir P, clip this, you're stealing our takes, man. You can't be doing that, son.
Well, yeah. Sir P has, I'm aspiring to be like Sir P. Well, as it relates to the number of subscribers, people, not the rest of the stuff Sir P do. I'm gonna do my own social thing, but Sir P not class by himself because, as I said before, I have no idea where Sir P gets information, but he has data, which is important if you want to authenticate what you're doing and how you do it. And he does a brilliant job of doing that, actually. But yeah, I think Gunners Boss did a brilliant job in terms of that phone call. And also Claude, and I've given Claudine her credit too. I haven't seen Claudine since then. But no. A lot of people are saying Claudine, because you know how people are, or men are actually, as it relates to women. Like, women, we talking about football, football. They were like, no, she knows her football. She understands it. She knows it. She's credible. So it's a good thing.
Hey, you have a lady where you used to call the radio from down at Clarion. Me a she come from me in Jai. That the lady there. That lady they know football. She know the football, so it's crazy. But you what? The male them now, male in these spaces don't want to just a Kranky to them. Don't give the woman the time and the woman the time and the respect what them give them. When me run a program and a woman call me. If a 5-minute program me run, 2 me don't get female like that. A 10 minutes she get because we just sit down and learn something from her,
Yeah. No, Claudine is very knowledgeable, actually. I'm very passionate about, she beat me about Antonio, which I deserve beating for, but I do want to let people think a little bit differently, right? I think sometimes we're set in our ways. We look at people's legacy and their ability and we don't challenge them. I can tell you people, England is challenging now. Some people in England, some credible people, are challenging Hurricanes' inclusion in the squad. If you did that last year, it'd be heresy. People would be like, you're out of your mind. What do you mean? He's a top goal scorer. He's the top goal scorer in the Bundesliga. He's brilliant. And now people are saying, you know what? We need some other attributes than what you're providing, Hurricane. So anybody can be challenged, no matter how good they are.
Father time catch up with Hurricane. Hurricane up in the long time now, man.
Yeah, but Gunners Boss, he was the top goal scorer in the Bundesliga this year. He broke Lewandowski's scoring record. So it doesn't mean he's still not playing well, but he's a little bit like a lamppost nowadays in some respects. So you need mobility.
As we say, it take a while for the knees to get weak. But after a while, after you play a certain amount of game and the muscles them. I just one of them things. But me not care about Hurricane and what them do over England. Me just know say England is not a place where England football look great. because them can afford the Premier League afford the best players from across the world to come there and play for them. But other than that, I don't see England football inside them football as a whole when it comes to the national team that great, you know.
Yeah, no. I mean, they have good players now. They've improved. Right? If you look at them over the last 10 years or so, they have changed their program. They did like what Germany did for a while, which is they reinvest in the football. Here's what people don't realize, people. This is very important. So even though people complain about the Premier League in England and they're losing their football, there's a trickle-down effect where some of that money get invested in grassroots football. So when you make the tons of money that they do, some gets allocated to the lower leagues and grassroots. So I know in England they're struggling with the concept of, you know what, we're losing our football to a global audience. Our team that was our team is no longer our team. Everybody owns our team, but they're benefiting financially immensely from the global popularity of their sport, and so they have to make up their mind: do we want to be rich, and do we want to have the best sport, or do we want to just be parochial and say, you know what, we want to keep our sport? Like the concept of them playing overseas, like the NFL does, is people are losing their mind. You can't bring our regular season game overseas, but then the teams want the revenues. So I'm not sure how they're going to manage that. But they're in a dilemma now that they need to get out of because the sport has gone global and it's not going to go back. So anyway, Gunners boss, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, son. I appreciate the call.
Yeah, man. People
All
right. call Kranky, have a vibe with Kranky. You know, show them now.
I only have 10 minutes left.
All right. And people in the call, I'm about up to 10 minutes. In the comment section of type stuff. Yeah, man. Come on up the call now.
All right. Bless up, Gunners. Thanks. Bless up, Dre Anyweather. Thanks, brother. Hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen you since we linked up during the what's the Gold Cup back in Orlando. Hope things are going well. You're still breaking news? 'Cause I know people give you grief about breaking news after the news is out public, you know. But bless Dre and hope Aberview gets better over time, because I used to live in Aberview for a short period of time. Good place to live actually, and good people. So, and I know people from Aberview are very loyal to their team and to their community. So people, we have 131 people, we have 131 likes. That number is way off people. That number should be like 200 likes. Good evening. You may be the last call of the day, so you have to close this out with style. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, Jesus. Eco Reeks.
I know, so you Eco, but more you know, it's for the people. So go on, Eco, you have to close this out in style, Eco. By the way, before you start, Eco, message people, I talk Jamaica now, because I think somebody called, what's your name? I forgot her name. It's not Princess. Said, boy, she love me talk patois. So, there was no say me can't talk patois. Some people love me talk patois. Me say this. I don't know if you hit the like button star. I don't know if you subscribe, because I can't do that thing else and subscribe now. Me are struggling at 800 number. It vacillates. It go up slowly, which is a vacillate. It change slowly. We need to hit the like button star so we can grow the channel. See? So hit the like button. But not only that, hit the subscribe button. That's very important. You have enough family members. If each person I chat now, 123 people, get 10 people to subscribe, a 1,000 subscriber right off the bat. Come on, people, do better. Go on, Eco. Sorry. Do your thing.
Yeah, a few things actually. Greetings again. So I'm thinking about how the team will set up tomorrow.
Right. No, Eco, we can't talk about that. No, you have to come back tomorrow to talk about that.
Can't talk about that?
No.
Tomorrow.
First of all, tomorrow, may I start take call from the show start. See, a phone show tomorrow, not my show. The pre-game show is your show tomorrow. So Eco, see that Eco, is that you know what TV have the prelude before, and then try to set this up and make sure people call back in and give you a little synopsis of things. As some I do. So we're not got team today. We're not got lineup, but me appreciate you bringing that up, because you set this up for tomorrow. Yeah. People, tomorrow when the show start, una call in. If you want your team to announce, you have to call in and we'll put up your team. See, that's how we do tomorrow. So tomorrow when you call in, we'll have the squad set up. We'll have the team set up. I'm trying to find, I have 2 squad builders. They're not optically pleasing like the one we always use, but they're more effective because they have all the players them. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to do my research to get them. So tomorrow, people, when you call in, we talk to your squad. And here's another thing too. You have to justify your selection. You can't just put up people and say, this is your squad. What formation you want to play? Why you want to play it? Why some player versus other player? Come with the arguments, well set, and we will grade you, right? We'll have the fans, or actually the fans, the commenters, those in the comment section, we're going to have you grade the person's squad, and you give your rationale as to why you achieve your grade. Does that make sense? So Eco,
Yeah, but
put that
before I
on wall. Put that on
before
wall.
I
Put
go
that
do,
wall. Put that on wall.
yeah, man. But before I go do,
Yeah.
for you, Kranky, do you think this the result matter more or how we play?
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again, Eco.
Do you think the results well, obviously the results matter more, but I kind of get the understanding that we persons kind of question the way how we get the results. But I don't really care. I just want to know we get the results, but person have different perspective.
Yeah, here's what I think is actually. So I think what people are saying is this. We love that we're winning, because there's a difference between results and winning. To me, what results mean, meaning I beat Dominica 3-2. We don't love that. We're saying I suppose a 6 love, right? So we love that we won, but we don't love the ultimate results of the game, which is it should be 6 versus 3, 3-2. Secondly, we're saying also, if you play football well, it bodes well going forward when you play the better team, because you have a sustainable football program, style of play, system of play that's going to allow you to match up well with other team. If you're just kicking long ball, you may win, but will that be sustainable? Now, the coach can come back with a counter argument and say, look, Kranky, I understand what you guys are saying, but we're winning on a continuous basis. So what's the problem? Third of all, so if you're playing well, you're possessing the football, it gives you more chance to win. And that's a fact. Third of all, you and I want to enjoy the football. Yeah. We have enough options in life. We don't want to sit down and watch a boring game and kick the ball along and just we pull over here and we hold the finger and say, you know what, over the game finished. We want to enjoy the football. So the enjoyment may become last because we won outcome and we haven't gone to the World Cup since '98. Mm-hmm. But when you play football well, look at the teams that play well. Real Madrid. We're going to use the best team. Look at teams that play well. If the US play well, they get good outcome. They're the dominant team in the region. They beat Mexico because they've improved their player. Yeah, when you play well and you keep the football, you play the ball between the line, you have combinations, you have triangles. It's amazing how it all comes together about good outcome, attractive football, and winning football.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't disagree about the winning, but I don't think it's either or either. I think we can have all of that. We can win and we can play attractive football while winning, and we can play dominant football while winning. We don't have to win by kick and hope. We can win by other means, I think, actually. At least that's my view.
Yeah, and for me, Kranky, before we close out, I was thinking about it, and I'm saying the coach will have 4 to 5 weeks with this team. I will see how well we will have progress. You know, because person say, oh, he needs time and so forth. So he has 4 to 5 weeks with this team, this crop of player. Let's see what changes. You know, after the Copa America, then I will decide if I will, you know, give him his fair share of beating.
Yeah, look, I mean, we have lucked out in the draw, people. You look at the draw we have. Now, Mexico is a good team. Ecuador is a good team. Venezuela is a good team. But we're not in a good zone where one spot is automatically determined with Brazil or Argentina or Uruguay, right? Or even maybe US, for example. We're not in that zone. So I think, look, Ecuador is a good team, but we can compete against Ecuador. We can compete against Venezuela, who's ranked one level below us. And we can also compete against Mexico, because we have competed against Mexico. So we have a good chance as any in the zone to have good outcome, right? Now, these teams are around us, are ranked better than us, but we have a chance to do well. And if we play up to our ability, maybe we'll be smiling at the end of the first round. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, first, one would argue that we are yet to win a Copa America game. You know?
Yeah, well, there's no time like the present, right? No time like the present.
Right.
So let's win one now. Let's beat Mexico, for example. Let's beat Mexico tomorrow, people. Let's beat Mexico tomorrow.
If we beat Mexico, well, when we beat Mexico tomorrow, I am sure we will progress out of the group.
Well, I'm not going to say I'm sure, because I think Ecuador is a good team and they're getting better and they have players playing at the highest level. Venezuela's drawn with Brazil in Brazil, so that says a lot for them. And even though the country's having problems, a lot of countries that are having problems in sports, like Afghanistan and Venezuela, seem to do well when it comes to sport because people are working outside the country. So let's see what happens. But I want us to compete and compete to our best of our ability and play some good football, and hopefully we win.
Good football. Let's see.
All right, Eco. Appreciate the call. But Eco, you can call back first tomorrow now. We can have this conversation because the squad will be up and you get a chance to put your team on the field. All right?
Yeah, man.
All right. Bless up, Eco. All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, people. So we have come to the end of the program. I truly appreciate you being here. We have 100 people still watching. I truly respect you being here, value you, appreciate you. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. If you haven't subscribed or your kids haven't subscribed, let them do so. Because we know them all have them individual tablets. And I also like the video. If you really like it, like it. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it. May answer for you. But if you like it, because I don't want you to being disingenuous. If you like it, hit the like button so others can watch it and it can go viral. And some of those people who go viral too can also want to subscribe. Because I'm really trying to increase the subscriber base. And you see me having I have a show today, I have a show tomorrow. And as I mentioned before, I'm hoping to have someone around the squad on Sunday at 3 p.m. I have to confirm that they'll be available because I know the squad will be traveling on Sunday at 3 p.m. And I may even do a watch along for the US game at 5 p.m. if I can fix the AC in this place. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you a lot. Keep attending these sessions actually when I have them. As you know, I'm here Monday through Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. And as I said in my video, sometimes on Sunday. So I'm gonna take you out with my so-called rapping. I think it was Chicago saying I should go in the studio. We don't know what Chicago talk about. We're not going to the studio, but here we go. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for being here, and I appreciate you. Peace out. Kranky life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk, and it's free, yo. Kranky life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Kranky life, till them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Kranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Kranky life, till them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Kranky life, get to know the name because Kranky analysis is never lame. Kranky life, give me my Kranky life. I want my Kranky life. Must have my Kranky life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Kranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and debate and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Kranky life. Till them, Kranky life. Heed them, Kranky life. Want them, Kranky life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Kranky Live. Tune into Kranky Live. Like up Kranky Live. Subscribe to Kranky Live. Kranky Live coming to you on weekdays. Kranky Live sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Kranky will always bring the heat. Kranky Live. Me say fi tell them Kranky life. Me say fi heed them Kranky life. On them Kranky life. Kranky life will be around. Kranky life is the best in town. Me say fi heed them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi heed them. Want them, heed them, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them, Kranky life. Kranky life. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed them, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life. Kranky. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed, want, heed them.